It's The Jack Show with Jack Stockton, celebrating everything entertainment. Join us as we take you behind the scenes of your favorite celebrity interviews, red carpet premieres, and award shows. From New York to Los Angeles, The Jack Show covers fashion, film, music, and television.
Mashhad, a powerful new short film from acclaimed actress and writer Sarah Solemani, making its world debut at the Chinese Theater on August 16th for the 21st annual Hollyshorts Film Festival. Joining me now is Sarah Solemani herself. Sarah, how are you?
Hi, I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me, and thanks for that introduction.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be on The Jack Show. You know, Mashhad is a story that needed to be told, but based off of everything that you had to do in really the secret tale of this story, tell me a little bit about why the story was so important for you to tell.
So Mashhad is a city in the northeastern part of Iran. It's a very holy city. It's a site where a lot of Muslim people go for pilgrimage. It's a site of, there's a shrine there. So you have about 20 million visitors every year still in this special sacred town. And it's where my ancestors are from. My grandparents were born there, and they lived as secret Jews. And I grew up with a bit of like the family law that they had sort of Islamic names and secret Jewish names. And my grandfather, whose name was Samuel, his Islamic name was Nasrullah Farajullah, and he went to the madrasas and he learned the Quran. And it was only later in life where I went, hang on a minute, what was going on? How did they do that? Why did they do that? And I started sort of researching it, and the more I researched it, the more I realized there was really nothing documented. These people lived in such secrecy and fear, for fear of being killed, that and they didn't have birth certificates. They were they were undocumented essentially. And I had this sort of sense that if I didn't capture it, this history would be lost.
You know, you gave me chills. This is such a dynamic a short film, and it really touched not just myself, but the whole team here at The Jack Show. What was really interesting for future filmmakers and people that take these kind of stories seriously and producing something is you guys had recreated a 1930 set in Santa Clarita.
Yeah. We thought about where we could shoot. And where we could afford to shoot. It was like a low budget. We only had 3 days working with children. And we found this ranch, Blue Cloud Ranch, where they shot American Sniper and a lot of Middle Eastern shows. And we had a brilliant production designer, Elena, who recreated this 1930s set. And yeah, I was... the biggest compliment was when people watched it and they said it felt like Iranian cinema, because that's what we were going for. Like, it felt like a lost Persian film.
You did a great job, because the location, I thought the same thing. I said, did they actually go there? The landscape out in Santa Clarita was spot on. Great job, Sarah. The other thing that intrigued us here was your trip to, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Great Neck in New York.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we were making the film, putting it all together in pre-production, and my grandmother passed many years ago, but it sort of dawned on me that there were living Mashhadis whose testimony hadn't been captured. And I should go and put them on tape. So I went to Great Neck, where there's a big Mashhadi community. And it's worth your audience knowing that this is like one of the least assimilated ethnic groups. So Mashhadis are very close with each other, and they tend not to marry. Not only do they not marry like American Jews, they don't even marry other Iranian Jews, like outside of Mashhad. So I'm a complete random fluke that my dad, who was a Mashhadi Jew, married my mum, who was a Northern Irish English.
Because Mashhadis married Mashhadis.
Mashhadis married Mashhadis, and so there's this close-knit community in Great Neck, and I arrive, and no one's interested in me at all. But luckily, my auntie, Sarah Carmelli, is very respected, and she took me to the synagogue, and it happened to be the senior citizens' coffee morning, and they were all there, and I said, please will you talk to me, please will you talk to me? And they said, no, they've got nothing to say, nothing to share. And my aunt helped encourage them to speak, and she translated. And once they started, one woman in particular, you know, she just, we were there for hours, and it was all coming back to her, and she remembered a pogrom, and she remembered on Passover a mullah calling for the death of the Jews, and them running and hiding on roofs. And this was in her living memory, not having access to a doctor, having typhoid, these really, really intense, fearful times that they lived through, and then they survived through, that we've now recorded, which is brilliant.
Well, Sarah, congratulations on bringing this story. We're so proud of you. I know the audiences are just going to line up. I'm going to go an extra 30 seconds because I don't want to cut this off early. But I did want to congratulate you. I wanted to honor you. Here at the Jack Show, we are your biggest fan. I am so looking forward to joining you in Hollywood here in about a week. And then I'd like to do a follow-up interview with you as well, just to talk a little bit about what it is like to have this beautiful story be seen by so many. Sarah Solemani, thank you so very much for joining the Jack Show. We will be in touch. And if there's anything that you need, you reach out to our show. Please follow and like Mashhad. This is at the 21st
Hollyshorts Film Festival.
Through August 17th. The Jack Show will be live on the red carpet. Sarah, thank you again so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.